NFL Hall of Famer, television personality, and outspoken cultural commentator Shannon Sharpe now finds himself caught in the eye of a storm no one could have anticipated. He's stepping away from the spotlight not for a vacation, and certainly not for retirement, but to confront a devastating $50 million lawsuit alleging violent and deeply disturbing conduct. This goes far beyond a simple legal dispute. It's a story about power, fame, accountability, and a public desperate for the truth. But before we break down the shocking accusations, let's remember exactly who we're dealing with. Shannon Sharpe is far more than a former tight end with 3 Super Bowl rings. He's not just the sports analyst who ignited Undisputed alongside Skip Bayless or the digital force behind Club Shay Shay. Sharpe is a cultural figure, a powerful voice for social justice, and a man admired by many for rising from humble beginnings in rural Georgia to NFL superstardom. His path wasn't flawless, but it was impactful. In both sports and media, Sharpe came to represent something rare: raw honesty, Southern charisma, and a bold, unapologetic presence.
That's what makes the recent allegations even more shocking. On Monday, a civil suit was officially filed in Nevada State Court. The plaintiff, identified only as Jane Doe, claims Shannon Sharpe sexually assaulted her not just once, but on multiple occasions. She is seeking $50 million in damages. According to the court filings, Jane Doe alleges she met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles. At the time, she was just 19 years old, while he was well into his mid-50s. What started as a rocky but consensual relationship, she says, eventually spiraled into something far more dangerous and threatening. She describes the most violent encounter taking place in Las Vegas in October of 2024. During that incident, she accuses Sharpe of a brutal sexual assault, claiming she was physically overpowered, recorded without her consent, and left deeply traumatized. A second alleged incident reportedly occurred in January 2025. Following that, Jane Doe says she left the state immediately, fearing for both her safety and her emotional well-being.
Shannon Sharpe isn't brushing this off, and neither is his legal team. His attorney, the prominent Lanny J. Davis, issued a firm denial, stating, "This lawsuit is a transparent and opportunistic effort to extort money from Mr. Sharpe. The allegations are untrue, and we intend to fight them vigorously in court." According to Sharpe's camp, the relationship was entirely consensual from start to finish. They argue that the accusations are made up, crafted to destroy his public image and derail his career. Still, the impact may already be irreversible. As soon as the lawsuit hit the news cycle, social media exploded with responses from every direction. It didn't take long before the story started trending, as users poured out their thoughts, reactions, and judgments in real time. Some were caught off guard, truly stunned by the allegations leveled against Shannon Sharpe. To them, he's always been a symbol of resilience, a man who rose above poverty and hardship to become a Hall of Famer and a respected media figure.
They viewed him as focused, vocal about mental health, outspoken on social justice, and anchored in strong values. For these supporters, the notion that he could commit such acts is almost inconceivable. But not everyone responded with shock. Others claimed they weren't surprised. Some even said they expected something like this. In their view, celebrity can act as a barrier, concealing private misconduct from public view. They argue we've witnessed similar stories before. Powerful men facing serious accusations, often after years of silence from alleged victims. And they ask, how many times have we ignored red flags simply because someone appears likable on screen or is celebrated in the limelight? Then there's the group placing their focus squarely on the woman behind the lawsuit. They're raising uncomfortable but necessary questions. Why would a 19-year-old step forward with such grave allegations unless there was truth behind them? Why subject herself to public shame, victim blaming, and internet harassment, all for the sake of a potential payout?
For retirement, but to confront a devastating $50 million lawsuit alleging violent and deeply disturbing conduct. This goes far beyond a simple legal dispute. It's a story about power, fame, accountability, and a public desperate for the truth. But before we break down the shocking accusations, let's remember exactly who we're dealing with. Shannon Sharpe is far more than a former tight end with 3 Super Bowl rings. He's not just the sports analyst who ignited Undisputed alongside Skip Bayless or the digital force behind Club Shay Shay. Sharpe is a cultural figure, a powerful voice for social justice, and a man admired by many for rising from humble beginnings in rural Georgia to NFL superstardom. His path wasn't flawless, but it was impactful. In both sports and media, Sharpe came to represent something rare: raw honesty, Southern charisma, and a bold, unapologetic presence.
That perspective has ignited broader conversations about accountability, especially when there's a wide age gap and an evident power imbalance between two individuals in a relationship. Still, many are proceeding with caution. They point out that, as of now, no criminal charges have been filed. Sharpe's legal team has already framed the lawsuit as a calculated extortion attempt, aimed at damaging his name and profiting off his celebrity. According to them, this isn't a pursuit of justice. It's a targeted strike. The public is clearly divided, with opinions forming rapidly, emotions flaring, and just about everyone weighing in. Yet without solid evidence or a legal verdict, we're left witnessing a storyline we've seen many times before: a high-stakes accusation, a high-profile figure, and a society eager to uncover the truth. Let's draw the line between confirmed facts and pure speculation. What we know is this: a civil lawsuit has been officially filed. It includes detailed and disturbing allegations, ranging from abuse and sexual assault to unauthorized video recordings. The incidents in question allegedly occurred in October 2024 and again in January 2025. The plaintiff is asking for $50 million in damages. Sharpe has since taken a step back from ESPN and paused his public media presence.
What remains unknown? Whether criminal charges will follow, whether there's any video or physical proof backing either party's claims, whether this lawsuit will quietly settle behind closed doors or erupt into a full-blown, headline-dominating courtroom showdown. This situation is still unfolding, and every new headline or hot take must be weighed with care. No matter how this legal battle ends, it's already triggering a much larger conversation, one about power, about consent, and about how society views romantic dynamics between celebrities and significantly younger partners. Shannon Sharpe's case doesn't exist in isolation. We've seen this play out before with other public figures, some vindicated, others not, and every time society circles back to the same difficult questions. Do we stand with survivors enough? Are we too quick to cancel without due process? Can justice and fairness coexist? Jane Doe's identity remains protected, but her story is already part of the cultural conversation, living on through headlines, reaction videos, and online debate for the foreseeable future. Shannon Sharpe, on the other hand, now faces perhaps the greatest test of his career, not under stadium lights, but in front of a judge. This story is far from over. It's messy, it's emotional, and it's shaping up to be not just a legal reckoning for Sharpe, but a litmus test for how the public processes allegations of this magnitude.